So Katrina here shot her first deer. It is a doe, and we need to now gut it out. She was hunting. This is southwest Minnesota. Pretty nice and cold out. We got some snow on the ground. But we're going to show you how to gut out this deer. So I guess we'll get started. So first thing that you're going to need is a sharp knife. This is a Cutco with their special double D edge. Great knife. You're going to take your deer. I always pull their legs apart like this, so that you can kind of hold them well with your legs and get in there. And this one is a little bit gut shot, but that'll be fine. So what you do is you cut straight up the belly, just like that, so that you can kind of see into the meat. And we're just going to go all the way down, right out the end, so we're all cut open. The deer is still nice and warm. It's a good sign because you don't want it to be getting cold by the time you're finally getting out your meat. So open it up so you can see some belly. And we're getting it open good. Okay, so when you have the belly pretty well exposed, you can then open up the gut cavity. You want to cut in just enough to get it open so that you don't open up the guts, because you don't want poop and stuff that's in the stomach all over your meat. That's a little bit unpleasant. Although they do eat stomach in, what is it, like Scotland or something? Okay, so.
Did
Did it stop? Alright, so we got it open now. And I've cut down a little ways right here so that the legs stay apart. And this is the unpleasant part. Make sure you're not wearing your Sunday coat. Oh, I'm actually still wearing my Sunday shirt. That's too bad. And stick your hand in, and you can begin pulling out the guts. And they should just kind of roll out in a mess. Now, right underneath the top here, you can shift your angle, Katrina, if you want. This is the liver. So right there, that is your liver. It's half of it. It's got a bile sac on it, which you do not want to eat, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off. The bile just helps digest fats and stuff inside the deer. So I'm just going to set that aside on that cardboard box here. And the other lobe of the liver is still inside the deer. On the back in the adipose tissue, there's also the kidneys. I've heard of people eating them, but I wouldn't recommend it. So just pull out the guts. And hopefully your deer won't be quite so bloody. If you shoot it more in the lung cavity, which is up in here, then it won't probably be quite so bloody, but this is, I think, more of a liver shot. Okay. So right here, this is the bladder. We do not really want this in here, so we're just going to peel that back a little bit. And now we got lungs and the heart. The vitals. So right here's the heart. Now we can see if Katrina shot it. It looks pretty unscathed to me. This heart is a lot smaller than the one on my deer. I shot a deer the other day. Take off that outer tissue, and that right there is the heart. So I'm going to set that aside along with the liver and continue pulling out the lungs. So the lungs are kind of up in there. You got to cut through that diaphragm, which is kind of like a partition separating the vitals from the less important but still important intestines. So there's a lung right there. It's really an odd feeling material. And the other one, here's part of the diaphragm. Oh, this is bloody. I despise this. Long chunk. Yeah, so just pull it out. Yeah, it looks like I got it out, all that stuff. So now we're gonna move to the less pleasant part. Might have to get it a little bit closer, but next up is the pooper, right there. This is something that you don't want contaminating your meat. So what you're gonna do, you'll take your knife, cut down until you get to bone. So right here, this is the pelvis. And if you have a saw, use a saw. But if you don't, like if you're out in the field, then you're just gonna have to poke your knife in and cut all the way around that unpleasant part of the animal and then pull it out that direction. But we currently have a saw, so we're gonna do it this way. So just cut into the pelvis. Tighten a little bit. And give it a pelvic fracture, open book fracture. And then you can very easily cut around all the equipment and get it out of your way. Oh, it's so gross. As you can see, there's the unpleasant stuff. And it is now removed. So that leaves just a rather bloody mess. Not swearing, but yep, and that's pretty much gutting. So we're just gonna lift her up and dump out the flow of stuff. And now she's gutted. You can pause it. So we are finished gutting out the deer. I hope that this video was helpful. This might have been a little bit harder to see since the gut cavity was so bloody, but maybe yours is like that, so maybe this will be helpful, because if it all looks really clean and yours looks like how ours did, it might be better. But anyway, I'm kind of new at this, so it took me a little bit longer than probably the average experienced hunter, but if you're watching this video, you're probably not an experienced hunter, so you can do it yourself.